Hello everyone, it's me again, Miss Jennifer, your biology, chemistry, and your science teacher. I would like to welcome you all to our second class. Before we proceed with our lesson today, let's have a short review first on our topic last week. Can you still remember what's our topic last week? Last meeting, we've discussed about the meaning of biology. So what is biology? Biology is from Greek words bios and logos. Can you still remember what's the meaning of bios and logos? Okay, when we say bios, it means life. Logos means study. So, biology is the study of life or the living things.
You may have learned to classify a rose or a human as living, rock and water as non-living. But why is this so? If you say that living is something that moves, but then flowing water can be called living, right? That's not entirely true. Life has a set of properties that an organism has to follow to be called living. And a wonderful discipline of science studies life in great detail. It is called biology. The word bio means living, and logi means study. So biology means the study of living things. Simply put, anything which interacts with its environment, use energy and reproduce are known as living things. For example, we humans eat food to get energy, feel and respond to our environment, and reproduce to make more of ourselves. Many other living things like insects, birds, and animals have the same properties like us, so they are all living organisms. Now the question arises, how many types of living things are there? And how are they different from us? Biology is a field which answers these questions and many more questions related to living things. What is biology? There are 7 characteristics that a living thing follows, and therefore we study this in the vast field of biology. These are 1. Order. If you examine a rose from near, you will notice it is very ordered. The petals are whirled around each other with the center bearing seeds. This illustrates the highly ordered structure that typifies life. Living cells are the basis of this complex organization. 2. Reproduction. Organisms reproduce their own kind. A mother giant panda will always give birth to a panda, not a horse. We learned that from Kung Fu Panda too. 3. Growth and development. Inherited information in the form of DNA controls the pattern of growth and development of all organisms. You most probably look like your parents or a close relative, thanks to the genes. 4. Energy processing. We humans eat food to get energy. The food we eat has also eaten some food to utilize its chemical energy stored in order to power its own activities and chemical reactions. 5. Response to the environment. All organisms respond to environmental stimuli. This is why you laugh when you are tickled. 6. Regulation. Many types of mechanisms regulate an organism's internal environment, keeping it within limits that sustain life. This is also called homeostasis. A lemur sunbathes to help raise the animal's body temperature on cold mornings. 7. Evolutionary adaptation. Lions use camouflage to blend in with the savanna, so they can easily hunt down an animal. Such adaptations evolve over many generations. Some new concepts like genes and DNA are introduced in this video. These will be explained in our upcoming videos. Stay tuned.
For today's topic, we will discuss about cell. Objectives. First, I would like you to understand the basic cell structure. Second, appreciate the uniqueness of cell. And the third one is label the parts of the cell. So, what is a cell? Do you have any idea what's cell all about? So, what's in your mind when you hear the word cell? C-E-L-L. I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're thinking like this, then you are correct. This is a cell. But this is not the cell that I am referring for. So it's an X for me because this is a prison cell. If you're doing bad things, surely you will end up in this kind of cell. So keep doing good. So class, this is the kind of cell that I am referring to. Cell is the basic unit of a living organism. Not just human being, but all kinds of living things. Okay, so when we say basic unit, meaning this is the reason why we stay alert, alive, and enthusiastic. Because our cell involves all the processes in our body. So what do you call to the study of cells? If your answer is cosmology, then yes, you are wrong. Because the correct answer is cytology. Cytology is the study of cell. Cosmology is the study of the universe. So let us know first the history of the cell. It was Robert Hooke discovered the plant cells. More precisely, what Hooke saw were the cell walls in the cord tissue. So this is what he saw in the microscope. It was a cell wall in a cord tissue. In fact, it was Hooke who coined the term cells. Okay, he's the one who gave or named cells. The box-like cells of cork reminded him of the cells of a monastery. There are two types of cell. What do you think are the two types of cell? Which one is having nucleus and which one is without nucleus? So the two types of cells are called prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Can everybody say prokaryotic? Eukaryotic. Cells that lack a nucleus or without nucleus is a prokaryotic cell. Cells that contains a nucleus or with nucleus is called a eukaryotic. So example of a prokaryotic cell is we have bacteria. Example for eukaryotic cell is called plant and the other one is animal. So this is the structure of a plant cell and this one is an animal cell. So both are eukaryotic type of cell. So the cell is surrounded by a thin layer called a plasma membrane or the cell membrane. Again, thin layer. So this one, for example, this is the cell and this thin layer here is called a plasma membrane or a cell membrane. Okay, so this one is the cell membrane. It is the outside part of the cell. Okay, this one. It controls materials in and out of the cell. Another structure of the cell is called a protoplasm. It is the living component of the cell. Okay, so protoplasm composed of nucleus, this is the nucleus, and the cytoplasm. Nucleus is the one that controls all of the activities of the cell, while cytoplasm composed of different organelles in the cell, like the mitochondria, chloroplast, Golgi apparatus, and so on. So again, protoplasm is a living component of the cell, and it composed of nucleus and the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm contains small structures called organelles. Can you name one of the organelles? Okay, so for example, this one. What organelle is this? Okay, so these are the different organelles of the cell, but not all cells have all of these organelles. So these are some of the organelles. Again, organelles are located in the cytoplasm. Okay, so we have the following. This is a vacuole. Vacuole stores water and waste. Then this one is the chloroplast. The chloroplast contains chlorophyll, a green pigment that traps energy from the sun. Next, we have a Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus is a packaging part of the cell. Next is we have this RER and SER. What is RER or SER stands for? When we say RER, it stands for rough endoplasmic reticulum. SER stands for smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now, what is the difference between RER and SER? RER, it is rough because it composed or it has a lot of ribosomes in it. That's why it's rough. Smooth meaning there's no ribosome content. Next, it's like a bread-like structure called mitochondria. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. So class, before we end our discussion today, let's have a short review first. We'll see if we learned something from our discussion today. So class, this is the kind of cell that I am referring to. Cell is the basic unit of a living organism. Not just human being, but all kinds of living things. Okay, so when we say basic unit, meaning this is the reason why we stay alert, alive, and enthusiastic, because our cell involves all the processes in our body. So let us know first the history of the cell. It was Robert Hooke discovered the plant cells. More precisely, what Hooke saw were the cell walls in the cord tissue. So this is what he saw in the microscope. It was a cell wall in a cord tissue. In fact, it was Hooke who coined the term cells. Okay, he's the one who gave or named cells. The box-like cells of cork reminded him of the cells of a monastery. Okay, for your evaluation, I prepared questions attached in your Google Classroom. So I would like you all to answer because that will serve as your attendance. That's all for today. Thank you so much.